make you know I want it deep inside. Free your mind, and I'll take you for a ride and make you wanna call my name. I am the reason that you feel like you're alive. Call for me, I'll keep you breathing. You'll be my heartbeat parasite. It's alright, let your know inside come out and touch me. Scream all night, that's what I like. You'll be my heartbeat parasite. Oh, my heartbeat parasite. My heartbeat parasite.
Hey, welcome in Vigo's Court. I'm your judge, Judge Vader, and I'm joined today by Counselor Q. And we're already in the lobby.
What it do? What it do? People are excited. It looks like our teams for both Six and Demise are already like just hyped and ready to get in. This is preseason. This is our first game of preseason week 2, right?
Yes, it is indeed. We get to kick off this whole week together, Q. I'm excited. Are you?
I'm excited. I love it. I love it.
Dude, yeah, and we get to kick it off with two awesome teams like Six and Demise. Like I was looking in that who will win round 1. It looks like it's pretty close actually between like who's gonna win. So definitely I think it's not just us who are split. It's also the viewers, you chatters, are also split on who's gonna win.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw Six have a very strong performance during the the qualifier tournament, right?
Mhm.
And Demise is, I mean, they're Demise. They've been around the competitive scene for a while. They're very consistent. They're not like as far like they don't have any like one player that I would say like stands out from the rest. They're much like a very good like cohesive unit that just they always show up. Like there's no like one person you can look, especially on their survivor roster, that like if I was going against them, they would be the first I go against. They're the first one I'm hunting down. You know what I mean? They're very even like all across the board.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, these guys are I mean, I definitely we've seen Six before be amazing on the survivor side. But I do want to go ahead and note as well. Did you notice any of those awards we gave out for last week's performances?
Well, I mean, I saw them because they look. Well, first off, I retweeted them because they look like super. I mean, just pristine, clean. Yeah.
But did you notice who won on the
Well,
whiteboard
look,
side?
I know where you're going with it. All right, just get to your point.
Okay. So my point is, guys, everybody here, everybody who didn't already know, Six had like every award on one side. On one conference, somebody from Six, or just the team of Six, had every award on that side for the week. Amazing. So definitely this team has been performing very strongly, and that's why I'm picking them to win.
Yeah, I mean, I expect this to be one that's very close. That's going to be to the point as far as kind of where it's one of those where we don't have to worry about it until like the end of trial 4. We're not going to know exactly what our output is, but that's going to be the good thing, right? It's two teams that I think are going to be very evenly matched. And like, what a better way to start off week number 2, right?
Yeah, indeed. And it looks like these survivors are already getting ready. It looks like we may just be waiting on our killer right now. So for sure, let's go ahead and review the map we're going to be going to.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. So we are going to Torment Creek, and it is on Coldwind Farm. We will have a 7-hook minimum, 12-hook maximum there. So definitely great map for us to be going to. Pretty even, if you ask me. Q, what are your opinions on Torment Creek?
Yeah, I like Torment Creek because it doesn't really have as far as and as far as the sort of any choke points, right? In the middle building, it's not like the abattoir, right, where it can be broken up into several different like mini loops into it, really, if you play it right, you know what I mean? It has a couple of different areas, but I feel like it's something where if the survivors tend to play the way they do in the comp scene, which is being passive, or not passive with their resources, but just very deliberate about, early pallet throws and things, it's easy to create some dead zones. So for good killers who come out and kind of know how to play into those dead zones and set themselves up for like the mid to late game, I think that's going to be what really separates teams on this map.
Yeah, definitely. I think you said it best right there. If you are passive with those pallets, you will create dead zones, especially on like around the edge of main building towards the edge wall.
Yeah.
I feel like that just, there's only like 2 pallets up there in a lot of cases, and so if you use those early, then any of those chases that happen around main building can become a problem.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, like the early game can be like kind of time consuming around like main building, especially depending on your RNG, because sometimes you can get a couple buildings by like those wood stacks too that are kind of tough to work around. And I don't want to call them quite like god pallets, but they are very strong pallets, definitely. And sometimes you can get them on both sides, then head into those 2 back corners. But once they're gone, yeah, like you said, I mean, it's long enough before he gets to the next window where you can't really like work it as a survivor.
Right. Oh, and there we got that one guy D in here right now, dude. Amazing. Went ahead and raided into
What
us.
up, dude?
Amazing. Let's go ahead and review these killer rules real quick. So guys, definitely these killers are able to score 1 point for the first hook, 2 points for second hook, 3 points for the third hook, and then progressions are worth 1 less, of course. So for sure, these killers are going to try to go ahead and get the 4K, get those extra 2 points. Definitely bleed outs are the only way that they're not going to score points after downing a survivor. So 30 points available there for our killers. And let's go ahead and get into this game.
Ooh, I like it here. We've got Ultra coming out here with the Clown. I really like this, especially because the Clown does have the ability to, of course, shut down some of the bigger tiles that sometimes pop up. Not only just the big, like the main building, but Shack itself and some of your other tiles on there. So we do see, of course, that corrupt that corrupt is going to help with that slowdown in the very beginning portion of the trial. Do see here Ultra moving basically into this corner, and I do like seeing this add-on combo here. Of course, the cigar box there is what's giving us the helpful work with the aura, and I think that's something that we're seeing starting to be more and more used and being like brought out as far as with the Clown. And I like that because you combine the aura reading with the speed boost, and it really makes Clown dangerous around loops.
Yeah, you can really take away a lot of survivors' options. I feel like Clown is really good at that anyway. You kind of use your power to zone the survivor, right? You throw it over in a certain area and you go, all right, you're going to have to run through that if you don't want to take this hit, and really force them into bad situations.
Yeah, and we do see here at this point, we're going to be moving back, heading towards the hook, right, or basically following back the footsteps. Not surprised here because obviously we know that our most important like survivor like ability to make points is with the escapes, right? So if you can go ahead and take the first escape away early, playing it patient, forcing the grab, no decisive strike. So now it's going to be hook number 2, and we haven't even seen our first generator pop here. Well, there's our first gen popping across the way, and we see Deadlock coming into play. Kind of interesting to see Deadlock being used more and more, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I agree, especially because the survivor main in me says Deadlock is not that great a perk. And the reason I say that is because if I'm a survivor and my my gen goes ahead and gets deadlocked, I'm moving to another gen and pressuring it to try to put more map pressure down onto the killers. So I don't feel like it's that great of a perk, but definitely these killers disagree with me.
Yeah, I think the thing that's interesting, like seeing Deadlock being used, And again, maybe it's obviously the reason why I'm casting and not playing is because these guys are that much better than me. But I feel like it would be a good pair with pop because then you know where to go with your pop. But it seems like most of our killers, it's opting either like it's going with the pop or going with the deadlock, and that's what I think is really interesting. We do see our second gen though getting done here. This is going to be where we just kind of see a little bit of hang time coming in here, trying to get as much objective time as possible. Not sure if that was camaraderie coming into play there or not. It looked like possibly because that was a long progress time on hook number 2, right?
Yeah, it definitely was a pretty long progress timer. Wow, I think that was a lie. Then I think because of our intoxication here, we actually saw them not get as much distance as they hoped for.
And we do see here with the tunnel that is going to secure the first elimination. That is going to be a big swing. Of course, the third hook being the most valuable for the killer. And again, the fourth survivor escaping is the way to get the most points off of basically one action as a survivor team. So Ultra taking that away here. And I like that strategy, especially with the Clown, right? Clown not really one of the more like meta killers that we see on the comp scene, generally kind of is about what we see right now, right? You're trading yourself usually an elimination for usually 3 to 4 gens, and then usually you're trading your like your second elimination for your last 2. So we're gonna see how quick Ultra can shut down this chase here, because you'd like to maybe get it down and maybe possibly put pressure on just one of the gens.
Yeah, indeed. And these these survivors are gonna try to go ahead and finish these out while Claudette's getting chased, of course. And we do see another gen pop. Nice. Deadlock, of course, coming right back into play. So really, I'm wondering, do these survivors already have another gen with progress on it that they're working on as well, abandoning this deadlock gen? We do see the body blocks coming into play here though too, so 2 survivors at least off gen.
Yeah, and it's interesting here to see Ultra now instead opting to go back towards the TNL. Although the TNL is an area that's normally not that strong, or normally kind of strong against an M1 sort of killer, but obviously the Clown has the ability to like shut down loops with that bottle there, that tonic. So we do see opting to go for the slug onto the Atom, knowing that if you got Atom on the floor, you're able to get the Claudette down. That means that the Nancy then has to come in for the save, meaning that there is nobody doing any gen work, which is important because you only have 1 gen left before those doors are powered.
Indeed. And we do see our Claudette going down here, gonna get hooked. And it's kind of interesting, like you said, like, oh, well, actually, wait a minute. That's kind of far away from where Adam got up. Do you think that might have been an unbreakable?
Yeah, with as quick as that generator got done, as like in Cohen's, like I guess you could say in like the same amount of time that Adam got up, that was definitely unbreakable. So that's good news here if you're Ultra, right? Because then you have the ability to make the slug play here in the end game, knowing that that was probably an unbreakable. We don't know that for sure yet. We'll have to check that there at the end. But we do see here using the cigar box there, now able to get themselves an aura reading. This is going to be huge because now you're going to be able to slow them down here. Don't think you're going to be able to get that player. Ooh, that's going to be a down. And now Adam does know about the no one escapes death. No, he did not know about that before. So would be interested to see if he makes the risky play to go for the unhook here, or if he's just going to sit back and try and take the escape. Because I feel like you're going really far away from the door here, right?
Yeah, definitely. These survivors are being a little bit smart though and going ahead and trying to stay split. So for sure, I think you might get 1 out, or actually the route Clown took here, one of the survivors may actually be able to go ahead and unhook our Nancy. Maybe we do see a 2 out here.
Yeah, the question is about Ultra. Yeah, I was about to say, is the play at the pallet here. Now going to play this game pretty safe, able to get the down onto the Atom here. Now you do have to imagine with the 2 getting unhooked so close to the door, you're gonna at least probably push the 1. If not, push both of them out. We do see now coming in here close to the Claudette. Claudette going to be using the dead hard to get to the L wall. However, the L wall not really the strong part of this tile, right? There's gonna be the down there. This is gonna be really big.
I agree. I think this is going to be really big because now you have all of your survivors right here. Is this Wait, is this potentially Soul Guard, the body block here? Is that what we're worried about? Oh, and we do see Lusty go down. I was wondering why Clown didn't go ahead and just down again. I think Clown was worried about a possible Soul Guard play.
Yeah, maybe worried about the Soul Guard play. However, I think by following and worrying about the Atom instead of going for the really quick pickup as well as the hook right there in the TNL wall, I think we're actually going to have a slug crawling out the exit door here, which would be some very valuable points given to our survivors here. So, oh, I thought we were going to be, yeah, I was going to say, using our yellow smoke here to get some aura readings. Yeah, that is going to be too far for Ultra to be able to go to get these slugs. So at this point, Ultra just going to stay back behind and secure elimination number 2. Of course, that's going to be taking away 6 points from our survivor squad here.
Yeah, and I mean, for our survivors, you'll take the 2 out for sure. I don't think Joy should come to this at all. Joy should just go ahead and escape, because I think that still results in possibly a like close to a tie for points. So for sure. Oh, it's a deliverance play.
Oh no!
Oh no! This actually changes the game a little bit.
Yeah, this could be huge. However, I don't think Adam's able to build up enough distance. We're going to see the tonic here. The only question that you have to have for yourself here is, do you have the deliverance on your decisive, or do you have your decisive strike on your deliverance player? I think you have to take the risk here. I think you drop a tonic bottle and you have to see if your survivor has it or not. Yep, definitely a good idea to hit the reload. We're going to see Ultra drop the bottle first here, right? Oh, nope. Now with Adam waiting behind. Oh, yeah, I don't think because Adam's going to be able to make it, and it does look like we can probably just wait for the end game.
Collapse.
However, the end game collapse would be the same as a bleed out, no? Or is the end game collapse?
No, an endgame collapse is an entity kill, so it does actually count. Full points.
So we are going to see the pickup here. Should be able to get over two-way hook easy enough. Yep, one right here. And that is going to be 8 hooks on a Clown. You know, a rather strong performance, especially on a, you know, in the Cold Wind Farm realm. So definitely a good performance by Ultra here. I'm sorry, 7 hooks, 8 stages. But really like to see that on the Clown, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. It was really fun to see. I always love to see a good Clown, but look at the point spread after that. It's actually a lot closer than I was even thinking it was going to be for a portion in there. I thought that we may only see one survivor get out at one point. So for sure, good job on the survivors to go ahead and keep composure and recover a little bit, but definitely excellent performance from Demise to go ahead and like gain the early lead.
Yeah, I still can't help though, but think that maybe Ultra could have gotten a couple of extra points had Ultra gone ahead and picked up the Claudette there by the door instead of going back for the Atom. I know obviously you're able to secure the down on the Atom there at the window and secure that hook stage, but I can't help but wonder if maybe you were able to put the hook Claudette on the hook and still be able to get you know, even one more person eliminated from that point. So well, I'll be interested to see here, because I mean, we're talking about a very small lead, right? 3 points. I mean, we'll have to see as far as moving through, especially moving into trials like 3 and 4. Well, that's going to be, I think, something I'm gonna keep as like a little mental note in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And for sure, 6 is going to be killing on the next 2. So we'll see how 6 can perform versus Demise. But man, that means that we are going to potentially see that same kind of matchup decide this whole thing in trial number 4. And that's exciting for me. I really enjoyed watching that match for sure. And can't wait to see more from these guys.
Yeah, I think the other thing too that's it's interesting to note is 6's survivors. I mean, notoriously through, at least the qualifier tournament, their survivor team has been very, very strong, and we saw Ultra come out and have a good performance against them, against, a clown. And we talked about this kind of going into preseason number 1, right? Because right now they have the whole killer pool really
Mm-hmm.
available. And, obviously Ultra's a killer that we've kind of seen around the comp scene a bit, but now, Ultra after coming out, has to have people thinking, hey, if we're going against Demise, not only do I have to worry about, a spirit and a huntress and a blight and a nurse, but now I gotta worry about a clown. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes things interesting for going into the season, especially the way things are set up here in Vigos, which I really like, with where you aren't always going to be seeing the same killers, and add some more strategy to it for our teams.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like you said, it is really exciting to see that really any of the killers are on the board there. We've seen a lot of off-meta killers come out in the preseason where teams are going, hey, we just want you to know we can go ahead and we can bring this out too.
Right.
Any of it works.
And I mean, we've seen some Nemesis, we've seen some Oni, we've seen some Demo Dog. I love seeing it heading into the preseason, heading into the season. Our team's coming out, and especially not only are they like willing to try new things, but then when they come out with those things and have really strong performances. We saw Solar Blazer bring out the Twins last week and have a very strong performance. Now I know like Twins are a killer that's kind of been moving up here recently, has kind of been, I would say, secured into that like first, or that at first 3 after the top 3 as far as on most people's tier list, right? Somewhere in that next 3. But it was impressive. I don't really think we've seen a Twins play like that, at least so far in the preseason. So
Right. Yeah. And I don't know what other off meta killers do you want to see during the preseason? I think that's more what I want to know.
I mean, well, usually one of the first ones that I always go to is my humongous humorous friend, but we just saw him. I'm trying to remember offhand how much Plague we've seen, because I know Plague actually feels like she's in a very good spot since the rework. I don't know if I'm quite ready to put her like, I definitely don't think I'm ready to put her in like that next 3 level, but I feel like she's definitely moved into a spot where she might be more viable, as far as especially in Vigos where you have to use like multiple different killers, right?
I would agree. Yeah, I think that she's definitely a lot more powerful after the buff. I played her a couple times, and especially with even the add-on reworks, like
Yeah, they did really good with those.
Oh man, they did really well. Like I don't even run the effectiveness add-ons anime. I'm trying to infect the objects themselves, and I'm just going, all right, let's go.
Oh yeah,
That's like
you talking about the uncommon and common
yeah
add-on combo? Yeah,
it's
that's
so
a
crazy.
fun way to play Plague, actually. Yeah, you definitely won't see. I don't think you'll see our comp players doing it that way, just because our comp players don't mind getting sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll just pressure it out.
Like when versus like when you're playing in public lobbies. But I mean, we even saw Plague come out quite a bit in the later rounds of the Death by Halloween tournament over in DBE. So we're seeing comp teams, really digging in with some of the changes that we've seen in the last, do we call that a mid-chapter, whatever, the big chunky boy update, right? We've seen a lot of different comp teams kind of getting their hands in on a couple of the killers, and it's been fun to see, especially with the Plague, seeing her used more. But it does look like we've got our players starting to ready up here.
It looks like actually we've got somebody who isn't supposed to be in the lobby right now. So I've asked Philium to go ahead and give the good old boot, and there we go. Awesome. So now we have all the survivors in here.
Actual roster, okay.
Yeah.
Trying to pull a fast one.
Yeah. I'm I'm pretty sure that somebody on one of our friends lists here for everybody who's in the lobby was just like, "Oh, customs? Let's go."
Yeah, let's go. I'm down. Let me play.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. I was looking at the game chat and seeing like all the players were like, "Hey, who's this Jake? Who let Jake in here?
Yeah.
Who is that?"
And you're not even trying to sell us any State Farm insurance.
I know, right? He wasn't even wearing khakis, dude. Not even wearing khakis. He had some.
So who
like,
would you like to see brought out here, Vader?
You know, I want to see a trickster. We're in the middle of the crescendo tome, or the beginning of the crescendo tome. I want to see a trickster.
I don't think any of our killers are like willing to put themselves through that. You think so?
I mean, I don't think any of them are willing to either. I didn't say that I was going to see it or that it was like super viable or anything.
That's fair.
I was just saying that like
ask
what
what
I
you
would
wanted to
like to see. Yeah.
Okay, so then Vader, what do you think we're going to see here?
Yeah, two separate questions. All right. So, what do I expect to see? I expect to see a blight.
Think so?
I think so. I've seen blight do very well on this map, actually.
Do you think that's because of the result of Trial 1, or do you think they were already planning on bringing up Blight?
You know, I think, like we said at the beginning, these are two very good teams. I think they probably bet on bringing blight at the beginning. I think that they were already planning on it, and that's why I think that we will see a blight here. I don't know. Tough to say, but I think we'll see a blight.
I would, I mean, I know it's not Thompson House, so I can't say it's home field advantage per se. But I'm always a fan of some Billy Boy play. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And, you know, if we, on the corn, if we can bring some cross map snipes, you know, bring me a little bit of spice into my Wednesday to start off our Vigos court session for the week, for week 2. I'm down for it. I mean, I'm here for it. What about you?
I'm definitely down for it. You talked about cross map snipes. I almost wanted to say, I kind of want to see a Huntress here, but then I was like, I thought about it more and I was like, I doubt that any of these killers are going, yeah, I'm bringing Huntress on Torment Creek. Totally my favorite. So I would like to see it. I want to see somebody go ahead and just tell me, hey, I don't care that this map is not really great for Huntress. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go do my thing. Right. But, you know, don't expect to see that. Oh, man. But, guys, let's go ahead and review how Demise can try to extend their lead with some of these survivor points. So, of course, they're looking to finish these gens out. So the first and second gen being worth 1 point each, third and fourth being 2 points each, and the fifth gen being a whopping 3 points, but even that pales in comparison to the escape points. 1 and 2 points for the first and second escape, but those third and fourth escapes are super valuable at 6 points and 4 points. And if you escape with 2 or more hook states remaining, you do get an extra point for each survivor that does so. So for sure, 26 points available. These survivors are going to be trying to do just that. And let's go ahead and get started in this game.
Ooh, okay. You know, Vader, I can live with this being what? Today's the 3rd. Oh, yeah. Right, the 3rd, not the 13th, even though I got my grade reset. So we are 16 days away from the demo dog being out of the store, and we do see Philium coming in here with the demo dog here. Of course, we are going to see that corrupt intervention like we normally see. 3 mystery perks here. I think the important thing here, especially with the demos dog, we saw wasn't able to get a lot of setup time as far as with the portals, right? So definitely going to be really focusing on getting on early down here.
Yeah, definitely going to be trying to get that early down on that GPU, but for sure, like Demo Dog, I love seeing him actually here right now. And Demo's one of those killers that we talked about it last week. We thought was like one of the more balanced killers, right?
Yeah, I feel like when you look at just like the set, like as far as like the skill set and everything of most killers and what they have in their bag, demo dogs are pretty good, like semblance of balance. Like doesn't have like a one shot down, but does have the ability to close the gap very quickly. And if you do hit like successful attacks with the shred, you're able to do them, you know, in quicker succession, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's got a lot to the kit. And again, also as far as the ability to help in the 4v1 with the portals, again, we didn't see being able to put too many of, I think we only got 2 down. So we don't have much set up on our map currently. And that is our generator number 1 getting done across the way. But if you're able to get a down here, maybe at least start opening up your portal ways a little bit. They are set at least across the map here now. And you know, we do have, able to get the down. And at least right now you're able to get it down in the area of what was your corrupt gen. So at least right now you've got yourself like a nice little free gen in the area. Ooh, Megan's sitting around looking for the flashlight save, going to take the M1. Now at this point we've got Philium up on the shoulder you go. That is going to be hook number 1, but at the cost of 2 generators.
Yeah, definitely a really good chase by GPU here. For sure, pre-dropping some of the pallets, and we'll monitor those to see how that affects the game later. But I think for sure you had a really good chase, allowed for 2 gens to get knocked out. I do worry about there being 2 gens up in that area where a lot of the pallets have been thrown at this point, though.
Yeah, we've definitely created like a little bit of a dead zone in that area, right? We do see generator number 3 actually coming in across the way. So our survivors here for Demise being very, very efficient thus far. We do see Michaela moving in for the save, are able to apply the hit there. Now here's going to be the thing you are going to notice. Nope. Actually, I was going to be mistaken. Don't want to talk about that just quite yet. Oh, able to get the down. And that's big because you see the broken status there on the left. I do believe that is because that is from the second chance perk, meaning that you were able to get that down really quick instead of them being healed after just 15 seconds. Now securing another hook onto Warlord, or no, that's the new hook. That is Warlord. I am tripping. So that is actually going to be from the protection hit that was taken there. That does mean that we can actually talk about the forced penance, which I feel like is a really good pick on Demo Dog, right?
It is definitely a really good pick on Demo Dog. We also did see, I don't know if you noticed that, a gen popped and we saw Deadlock get procced, and then another gen popped. And so that's exactly what I want to talk about with the whole Deadlock perk. Is these survivors definitely already had a couple gens ready and waiting, and as soon as they pop one, whichever one got blocked, okay, that's fine, we've got another one already close to being completed. Complete that one. Okay, now we have to wait a little bit, but that's fine. Now I would say what's negative about this in this case is our survivors now have a loose 3 gen with this Demo Dog.
Yeah, the good news though is one, nobody was coming over for the save because Warlord was going to be able to take care of that at the very last second there with the deliverance. Now you do have that hit coming in, so I do believe that should expose the fact that we have the no-ed there, because I believe that hit came in across. But if not, we do see that haste status up on that right-hand side of the screen there. So that means that, and Warlord slaps him with the D, baby. Able to create a little bit of distance here, meaning that that's going to be more time and might even be able to build some distance. We've got some body blocks coming in here. Maybe able to get all 4 out the door. Keep in mind that does mean the 6 points and the 10 points for the 3rd and 4th survivor out the door. That is going to be an M1. Does look like though we're going to be looking at a little bit of a heal tech here. That's going to be 1. I don't think we're going to be able to heal tech both these survivors. That's going to be 1. That's going to be 2. Oh, able to get all 3 out the door. You love to see it.
Yeah, definitely having to take those 3 swings gave those survivors enough time to go ahead and get out of the trial. Now, if you're 6, there is a lot of pressure on you right now, because Demise has definitely come out and said, hey, you might want to worry about us. We're gonna go ahead and put the pressure down. I know the first match was close, but now you have to kill us, and our survivors are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, we saw them, we saw Demise here, right? Like they came out and they were able to take control in trial number 1 as far as on the killer side. Now they came out, had a very impressive first trial as far as on the survivor side. And I think this is a place that Six hasn't really been in much, right? As far as during the course of Vigo's court during the preseason. They did against the Arctic Wolves, of course, but otherwise not much. So I think here, what I'm really looking for, I'm looking for how Six responds. Even if, say, they aren't able to pull out the dub, are they able to keep the composure, right? Are they able to make sure that their teamwork is still there? Are their rotations still there? And that way they're able, that makes sure they're still fighting tooth and nail all the way to the end.
Yeah, I agree, and that's something that, like, when we've talked to Six, when they've come out and gotten some crazy, like, just survivor plays and gotten the 4-outs, we talked to them and they say keeping the composure was tough, but that's what honestly led to this, right? So for sure, we gotta see, can they keep the composure? They've talked about it being tough in the past. Do you think that it's we're seeing a little bit of lost composure, and maybe that's why there's some stuff going on there? Or do you think this is just, no, there's just a lot of pressure being put down by Demise?
Well, I do know that Six was having some scheduling issues there for a while, so I'm sure probably also played a part as far as like some practicing and getting like preparation, which we might be seeing here. And also, like, it is preseason, right? So maybe the demo dog play was one of those questions of, hey, I've been working on my puppers, right? I want to see how he does play, and maybe that just means that's not the answer, and that's fine here, right? Because again, these aren't like this is preseason. The games, I don't want to say they don't matter. I think they're good building pieces for teams on both sides, but if like the L's don't really matter the same way that they are here like next week, right?
Right. And for sure, like, this is your time to experiment. So yeah, like, if you were going to bring Trickster Six, now would be the time to do it.
No, well, I would imagine at this point, this is going to be a good point to bring out one of your S tiers, because this is where you can kind of simulate, hey, I'm in my last, like, this is where your killer can simulate being the last up, be acting like this is trial number 4, and you're going into it and you need, hey, I'm gonna need you to go out there and get a 4K at like 2 gens done. That's just the best we could do for you, homie. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to put you in this situation, but this is why you're our killer. So I'm gonna need you to go out here and handle business. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. And I think any killer will definitely tell you, if they're put in that position, like, it's not their favorite, but like, hey, you do what you got to do. Like, I honestly, a lot of killer mains, I feel like, get actually a little hyped by that, right? Because it's like, yeah, that's right, I get to own all this. Like, they're like the kicker that's coming out to kick like the 50-yard field goal. Like, once I kick this, everybody's gonna be like, you're my hero, I'm ready for this, I'm gonna get hyped.
Yeah, it's like the anchor situation in sports, right? Like, whether it be like, oh, swimming, bowling, whatever, like the anchor, like, it's kind of what you live for, right? Being the one that, like, it depends on you, right? And so now, again, you have the situation, you're sitting down right now, you're down by 21 points. Now, obviously, you do still have trial number 4, and that's why trial 3 is important, because you can set your team up. And we've seen their survivors have very impressive rounds. And even though they did come out of trial number 1 in a little bit of a deficit, they could come out easily in trial 4 and have a complete opposite result. See something like we just saw, like, right? Like a 2-3 hook stage. So I think this is where it's important they come out, and I wouldn't be surprised to see like a nurse here or something.
Well, what's your opinion on this map then? Do you think Nurse over Blight or Spirit?
I feel like, as far as Spirit, I think a lot of people, even though they kind of have figured out how they feel about her, I think as far as I feel like she's kind of moved down the list a little bit. I feel like it's kind of more of a choice of Nurse or Blight, and what do I feel more confident with? And so we do actually see a change in the score coming across there, just so we have a explanation of that. Actually, that was because we did have all 4 survivors escaping, which does have the bonus points there. So that does now mean even more so that this trial really is very, very important for Six's killer to come out and just throw everything but the kitchen sink at him.
I would agree, because definitely Demise is trying to put the whole game away right here. So for sure, you are playing for the fourth trial, right? Like you are playing to you're trying to take the lead here, and definitely you are killing, so you have a 30 points possible here. You definitely can take the lead here, but really, if you don't perform well and there is another 4 out, that is potentially match over. Here we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the important thing is seeing what happens after the first like 2 or 3 gens pop, right? Because sometimes that's where we see some killers start maybe reaching for and hoping for an extra Pocos, right? Maybe going for a lunge before they should, and then they start missing a couple more swings, and now they're frustrated, and now they're not making plays at loops. And so I think that's going to be the critical moment of this next trial, is kind of see what happens around, see where we're at as far as one, how many hooks we're at, and kind of what happens in those next 30 seconds after generator 2 and 3.
Yeah, and I'm noticing I think we had 1 less blueprint than we were supposed to on the survivor side, which unfortunately I believe results in a 1-point penalty to Demise there. May have to check on that, but I believe it does. But let's go ahead and review our ban rules real quick. So guys, of course, you can only bring 1 perk, 1 of each perk and item, but there is a duplicate borrowed time allowed. But we do have some banned perks here. Can't have Starstruck, can't have Haunted Ground, and can't have Prove Thyself. They're too OP, okay? Any of those will result in penalties, and I'm going to take you right into the match because it's starting now.
All right, and here we are. Keep in mind, we've got the 43 to 18. We've got Washed here coming out. And we do see the Pyramid Head. I can think of a couple people from my community that I know are tuning in that absolutely love to see the Pyramid Head coming in here into the play. I do like this pick. Kind of knowing the situation you're in, right? Knowing that you have the ability to play around some borrowed time and things like that as well with the cage, if you can inflict some of your status here. But I think the big thing that you are going to notice is our survivors are going to play this thing very patient here, right? And you've got kind of an interesting. Do I see a split corrupt here too?
Yeah, that definitely, it looked unlucky, super unlucky. We do hear a totem falling pretty early here too.
Yeah, we do see that falling across the way here. Now, do keep in mind, the first couple of chases, or not the first couple of chases, the first couple minutes here, very important. We do see another totem here. It does look like getting cleansed across the way. Oh, not going to be able to get the hit. Oh, que tan stupid. Plus 10 wood to the face by Claudette. Should be able to make this window here at this point. Yeah, Wash is going to be able to continue moving around. This is that big loop we were talking about, though, right? So kind of surprised to see Wash hasn't broken down that door to be able to work this loop a little bit easier.
I agree. I think you have to break that door, because if you don't, you're really looking at the survivor being able to make a good play on it. Although we do see Wash go ahead and zone quite well and get the down. That was a really nice drop of power there.
Yeah, able to get this shot. Now, we do notice here Wash coming over this way when we were pushing the survivors off of that gen. We do see those sparks, so our survivors do now know that we do still have a Ruin in play. And I think that's very important here, because this can buy Washed a little bit of extra time. Keep in mind, at the Ruin tier 3, that's 200% regression, right? So even a gen like the one that we heard right there that has a lot of progress, if that thing isn't touched in the next 2 minutes, that thing's back to 0, and that's pretty big.
Yeah, definitely huge. And we do see our Pyramid Head kind of proxying it, and that's actually kind of interesting. We heard 2 totems fall, and we now know that neither of those were ruined. So for sure, pretty totem heavy build on our Pyramid Head here.
Yeah, I think our hope was trying to do as much as we could to try and protect that ruin. And this is just kind of the risk of running hex totems, especially in the comp scene. One, just in this game in general, there's a very bad habit of survivors spawning right on top of those glowies, right? But especially when you talk about teams who have communication, so even if they are like running past it while they're getting looped, they're gonna be able to let their teammates know where to go and break those totems right away. We are going to see GPU here going into a second stage forced by a wash. Now, here's going to be the important thing, though. We do have our. I thought we were going to have another player moving in for a save here. Nope, instead, we're just going to have the one. We might actually have GPU just being left on hook here so they can go ahead and crush out these generators. That's actually generator number 3 getting done right there.
Yeah, indeed. And I was wondering actually, but it looks like the timer's still counting down. I was wondering if that was a camaraderie play, but it doesn't appear to be.
Now we do see the save coming in here, so I think this is going to be a very easy decision by Washed here to go for the tunnel. Ooh, able to get the hit with the with the actual punishment there before entering the locker. Was able to get the borrowed time. Yeah, you have to imagine with GPU staying in the locker that has to be a decisive strike, right?
Yeah, I definitely think it has to be a decisive strike. But here's the thing, you stayed in the locker too long and went down to mend. And I think part of that is just you got to try to get out, and you're waiting for that terror radius to leave because you don't want to get downed, and then you end up going down anyway. But that's fine as long as Pyramid Head wants to pick you up. Pyramid Head in this case has gone, nah, I don't want anything to do with your DS. I'm gonna just leave you there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to be really interested to see if GPU does actually indeed have the decisive strike when we exit this trial, because this could actually be like a really nice play to kind of buy the team a little bit of extra time here, right? We see GPU coming up across the way. You would have to imagine, with as long as it took, that probably is not an unbreakable. That was actually someone coming across and getting the actual pickup. Will probably be a save as well, which is big because GPU is on death hook. Now we do see some torment status coming in here that can be big, especially once we get the down. However, I would imagine Wash will not opt for the you know what, never mind, you take over.
You know, I actually I was silently hoping that the cage wasn't going to happen. I'm gonna be honest, because the cages are always like the entire map away from Pyramid Head. I think in this case, because you have caged, I think we see a 4 out here. But
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the only great thing about that cage is it doesn't proc BT.
Yeah, that is the good news, right? And especially because Washed is on first hook, so maybe by doing it for your first hook here, you can force an extra hook state, right? By not having the BT, you can get another hook and then force the borrowed time player to come over for the save if that is the case. We do see Warlord, though, making a little bit of distance. We do see some body blocks coming into play. Of course, we do have the ability to use the punishment of the dam. Oh, getting some shots, but they are all onto fresh survivors, and it does not look like we are going to get any more people onto the ground. That's actually going to be 3 stages, 4 survivors getting out, meaning they're getting the extra bonus points yet again. And I think Demise may have actually just wrapped things up without even having to come back out on the killer side.
And that's insane. Going ahead and showing your survivor strength here for sure. And definitely the worry that I had about that cage happening that late in the game. Yeah, definitely. It appears these survivors are able to capitalize on any mistakes the killer makes.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, right? Because part of me is thinking, hey, pick them up, put them on the hook that's kind of close to the door. That way, at least they can't get that door. Then maybe you can put the cage after for the third, like for the second hook,
Mm-hmm.
depending on where the play is. But the problem is you don't really know where any of the survivors are, but you do know that you are going to be putting this survivor, when you put them in a cage, you're putting him basically the farthest way across the map. Now that was kind of away from a door, but there was plenty of space between you and that space as well, and you didn't know which door they were going to be making a play for. Just a very tough situation. Now, I don't want to make it seem like that's an easy choice and like that was the wrong choice by any means, because I still think
No, yeah.
our survivors here from Demise, I think they showed a very good prowess and probably still could have capitalized and gotten the 4 escape. But that's just, for me, looking on, like, those are some of the things that I wonder about. One thing though, to point out, is GPU did indeed have the decisive strike. So really good play by our killer in that case, by waiting it out before, you know, going for the play there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's pretty nuts. I think that if the hook had happened, then maybe you're able to put a little bit more pressure on the survivors to try to make a mistake, try to make that save. But I think, like you said, Demise kind of was showing that, like, they may have gone for it and they may have still gotten the 4 out. So definitely there wasn't a wrong answer or a wrong choice to make there. There's just different choices that can be made, and who knows, maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, right?
Yeah, and I can't help but wonder too, though, right? Like, with it being week number 2 of the preseason for 6 here, and you don't bring out either of your S tier killers, maybe part of it is one, figuring out where some of your, like, mid-tier killers are, like the ones that you expect are going to have to come out at some point during the season, at least once. But also, part of me wonders, are they not bringing out the S tier killers, at least right now? Because I don't think they brought them out during the tournament either. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. But maybe they're kind of trying to keep a little secret, like that ace up the sleeve. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely, I see what you're saying there. And I think, especially when there are a lot of killers that do have a main that may not be meta, a lot of times that is kind of like kept close to the chest. That way, when that killer's brought out, and a lot of times survivors are a little bit more lax, they're like, oh, thank God it's not S tier. And then they end up actually performing better than the S tier. And so it's like, they're super surprising, right? But we do have somebody who has joined the interrogation room. We've got Q-Top here. Q-Top, how you doing?
Yo, what's up, boys?
What are you doing? What are you doing,
Hey.
Q-Top? Hey,
Hoppy.
impressive round there, huh? That's got to feel pretty
Okay.
good to wrap up preseason that way.
Yeah, it was a vibe. I don't know. I don't really play the game that much anymore, but the boys wanted me to play, so I played, you know? It's fine.
Nice. Well, you definitely did well, man, for sure. And I love you came into the chat here like super hyped. I love the energy, my dude.
Thank you.
Well, I like to, you know, you came in and you said it's a vibe, right? Now, I would imagine, obviously it's easier to keep that vibe having the performance that you had, but was that vibe something that you had, like you guys kind of had even heading into the first trial before y'all saw those results too?
Yeah, we're always vibing. Those are the boys. Those are my homies. It's literally always like that, goofy, having fun. Even while playing serious, we're still having a good time.
Nice. Yeah, and definitely I feel like a lot of the best teams are that way, right? Like you gotta be able to be friends with your teammates and really have fun while you're playing the game, right? Because at the end of the day, this is still it's still a game, right? You're trying to have fun with people, right?
Yeah, and I think having fun in DBD comp is the only reason you should be doing it in all reality. I wasn't having fun, so I quit, but now here I am playing. I don't know if I'm gonna come back. Probably not, but yeah, it's fine.
Nice little like extra something for people to have to kind of keep an eye out for. If Q-Top's going to be in the roster today, something to switch up. But What was there certain? Obviously, I'm not asking for the strategy, but did you feel like there were certain things that you guys kind of came in? Did you feel like you guys were kind of able to? What's the best way of putting it? Were you guys able to accomplish as far as the like your game plan throughout the trial, or did you kind of have to make some like adjustments throughout the course?
I mean, for the most part, it's pretty straightforward, I guess. Aaron, the ginger captain, makes all the calls, and as well as Ed. I just came to play, to be honest. I mean, I don't really get on my PC anymore, so that'd be a question for them. But they know what they're doing, and I just listen, you know?
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So, I mean, for sure, just coming in, playing, having fun. You said you don't get on your PC very much anymore. My goodness. So, like, how are practices for the team? You guys, do you guys practice a lot, or just kind of just swiffing and then ready for comp?
They practice a lot. I just don't. Normally, on a normal day, the fourth survivor is usually Ultra, since I took a step back. But today, Ultra had some stuff to do, and they asked me to play, so I was just like, sure. That's
Kind of throwing it back for the throwback sort of deal. One time for the one time.
Yeah, I wanted to play Pig, man. In my Vigo's debut, I played Pig. You guys were about to see some cranked moon dashes, and then we called the game, and I was like, damn.
Well, I mean, if you guys would have been able to calm it down just a little bit, and like maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why you're putting the blame on this. This is an onus you need to take on.
Oh, 100%. You guys outed both times. I mean, like, you didn't have to do that.
It's fine. Just everyone blames Super Aeronova. Worst captain NA, trust me.
Oh my gosh. The shade is thrown. I don't know if you noticed, Q, but I think it got a little bit darker in here, at least in my room.
It's fine, man. It's all part of the vibes, you know?
It's all in good and fun. That's what you gotta love, though, is a little bit of the poking back and forth, right?
Have fun with the boys and boof some ditchweed, you know?
Hey, I like it. I like it. All right.
Sure.
Do you have anything you want to say to the fans, Q-Top?
You probably won't see me much, but go support the boys. Demise are the homies. They're all really good guys. Continue to support them because I love them all. That's it. And GG's to 6 as well. You guys are the homies. I love all of you.
Fantastic. We appreciate you, Q-Top. GG's today, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. And guys, this has been great for us. Definitely, Demise is convicted of murder today, and we are gonna get ready to go ahead and wrap up. But before we do, hey Q, we talked a little bit about the awards, like, you know, towards the beginning, but let's talk more about them. I'm not sure everybody else has seen them. So,
why don't you lay it out for everyone? Because first off, the artwork is absolutely dope, but I also love that we're taking the time every week to kind of point out some outstanding performances.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you talked about that artwork. Definitely, that's a shout out to Fear the Dark Wolf. Like, you can definitely find Fear the Dark Wolf in the Vigo's Court Discord. You can find him on Twitter. You can find him a lot of places. So for sure, if you're looking for graphics, hit that dude up. Man's talented, all right? Actually helped make the intro for my channel. I mean, dude's just amazing. And definitely while you're looking for Fear the Dark Wolf, please go like Vigos on Twitter, on Facebook, on all the socials as well. Go look up Fear the Dark Wolf and look up Vigos. Do it. Just go do it.
Yeah, keep in mind, right? Like, obviously, everyone, we've been having people coming out and hanging out with us, enjoying some competitive DBD, especially in the evenings. You know, something that you aren't able to catch quite anywhere else, at least not that often. So the only way that we, like, people find out about it is by you know, telling somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody about it. So tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody about it. Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to that. I am honestly shocked. But yeah, tell somebody about it, all right? Oh my goodness. But guys, let's go ahead and review some of these. So definitely for the Black Ward Conference, the Survivor Squad of the Week went to Corrupt. They completed 10 gens and had 8 total escapes, which let's go ahead and review. That's a perfect Survivor, that's 2 perfect Survivor games. You finished all 5 gens and got all 4 survivors out.
So are you telling me that Demise might have written themselves a pretty good resume for that title in week number 2 here?
I'm just going to say it's going to be tough to beat. Yeah. That's 2 perfect games in a row. I think that's tough to beat.
Low hook count too.
Yeah, very low hook count. Yeah, for sure. And so then let's go to the Survivor Squad of the Week for the White Ward Conference for last week. It was 6. It was a team right here, 6. They had 10 gens completed and 7 total escapes. So as we talked about, 2 perfect games for Corrupt. 6 did have 1 survivor die, 1 lone survivor get left behind. But then we got to move on to the Killer Squads of the Week. And this time we'll start with the White Ward Conference instead of starting with the Black Ward Conference. And it went to 6. I mean, you guys heard me say it at the beginning. 6 had won every award in the White Ward Conference for the week. But 6 on the Killer side had 14 total hooks, 8 total kills, which I don't know about you, but for 2 games, 8 kills, that looks like 2 4Ks to me.
I see what you did there. I like that.
Same, it wasn't quite yours.
Yeah,
but,
I like it. I like it. I can dig it.
All right. So going on to the Black Ward Conference, the Killer Squad of the Week went to 4 Dwights, 1 Locker with 15 total hooks and 7 total kills. So not quite 2 4Ks, but hey, more hooks than 6 had, 1 less kill. Definitely super cool to see. The most valuable players now. This is super crazy, right? Joy King was most valuable player from the White Ward Conference. On the Killer side, Joy King had a 4.5 hook average and got 2 kills per trial. But on the Survivor side, he was only hooked 3 times and survived 1 time. And also, I want to go ahead and say on the, I guess on the stats here that I was just reading, Joy King only played 1 killer match, and it was divided by 2. So it did say average. That would actually mean what? For the 1 game they played, that's 9 hooks, 4 kills.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's great. So on the Killer side, 9 hooks, 4 kills there, and most valuable. Yeah, have a few progressions there, right? Most valuable player for the Black Ward Conference, we got Solar Blazer, and I mean, let's talk about that for a second. That was in his
Killer debut too, right?
Yeah, it was. We didn't have Wispy play for Arctic Wolves, which is crazy, right?
Well, I mean, from my understanding, that was kind of the game plan. I thought the whole point was Wispy was kind of like the Arctic Wolves was supposed to be Wispy's, baby, her project to not only be the survivor coach, but was playing killer while they, got a killer main trained up. And now I don't know this for sure. I don't shoot the messenger, but words on the street says, that's kind of supposed to be more like what from my understanding is Wispy's kind of doing more of the coach thing there. So
definitely. And yeah, Solar Blazer on the Killer side had a 6.5 hook average and 2.5 kills per trial. And on the Survivor side, they were hooked 0 times. They survived twice.
Yeah, Solar Blazer had a very, very impressive over the course of, I guess it would have been 3 trials, right? Because I think he only played Killer once, right? Or did he play Killer both trials for them?
I think he played both trials. I think he played Nurse to start, and then came back with
Twins.
Yeah, Twins.
Yeah,
he got a 4K in the first match and a 1K in the second match.
That's right, but it's still a pretty very impressive performance, especially like seeing the twins come out, right? Like twins is one of those either or at least it seems like either you know how to use them or you don't. And Solar Blazer showed us that he knows how to use them.
Yep, for sure. It was definitely exciting to see. And now we'll move to the team of the week for last week. And the entity's team of the week, so this is for both conferences. This isn't like by conference like we were going before. This is for the entire league. 6 was the team of the week. They had 10 gens completed, 7 total escapes, 15 total hooks, and 7 total kills for the best overall performance. And definitely we've started out this week and they kind of took their knocks this week, right?
Yeah, but I think that a lot of that shows kind of the parity of what we have in Vigo's court right now. We talked about that a lot during even like the qualifier tournament. I can't remember if we talked about it on air, but I know definitely you and I talked about it in the back, right? It's very much like this, not to like take the like phrase directly out of the, off somebody else's page, but like any given Sunday sort of feel, even though we don't play on Sunday. But like at any time, anyone can kind of put pressure on the other team and force them to make a couple mistakes that kind of like you see here. Like I don't think the score truly reflects like how close these teams are. What we saw was a couple of mistakes made and a couple of killer rounds, and Demise's survivors were able to capitalize on it. And we see them play 8 times. 6 is going to win a couple like this. Demise is going to win a couple like this. And they're going to have a couple of knock them out, drag them out fights too. So,
Q, can I go ahead and say, like, I think I've got a term for us. Instead of any given Sunday, can it be any given campfire? I mean, there's always a campfire before the trial, right? How do you feel about that? Or any given court date? How about that? Because, Vigo's court. How you feel about this?
I'm good on court date. I'll allow that one.
You'll allow that one? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Guys, we got it.
Except I'm not going to allow you to take credit. That was Rambo in the back on that one, so.
Yeah, all right. Guilty. Rambo in the back coming in on my ears. I was getting ideas from the man upstairs. All right. Definitely, let's... No. So Rambo's asking if I was going ahead and saying that he was God. I don't think he's got the voice of Morgan Freeman quite yet. So we'll stay tuned
close,
on that.
Though.
It can get close at times, especially right in the morning. Maybe.
So I do believe we've got some more games obviously coming this week.
Yeah.
And I believe as far as tomorrow, what does our matchup slate look like tomorrow, Vader?
Let me go ahead and take a look.
I believe it is I believe on Thursday is the day that we have a 6 and a 9, if I'm not mistaken. I just can't remember the matchup off the top of my head.
Yeah, we've got Hex Girls versus We Overslept. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., hosted by you, Q. By you. And co-host is Stony. So that a new co-host here.
We have a new co-host making an appearance tomorrow. Should be fun. And then at 9 o'clock, I believe it's the repeat of today, right? Nice. We got the Dream Squad. We got the Dream Team back together.
Indeed. You got me and you back here again at 9 p.m. for Hookers versus Deadheads.
That should be fun. I'm gonna have to make sure I write out a couple of jokes for that one. Okay.
I got you. I better be prepared to like try to not like just laugh the entire broadcast.
If I have this laughing in my ear the entire broadcast, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it.
I know. It's there, right? I'm gonna have to mute my mic because he's gonna laugh and it's gonna make me laugh. So for sure. All right. But yeah, for sure. We got Hex Girls, we got Hookers, we got Deadheads, and then We Overslept. We've got them all tomorrow. All
right, and then if we don't catch y'all tomorrow, we do have games Fridays and Saturdays, but just wanted to say before we do roll out of here, man, don't forget, for real, Everything crazy going on in the world today. Be true, be you, be sincere. Game hard and love harder. All right, where are we going to, Vader?
Dude, we're gonna go see Little Rugard. We're gonna go raid Little Rugard. So guys, once again,
hold up.
hold on, what?
Did we convict Demise of murder?
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
I was about to repeat it though.
We can't let them get away with that. And not convict them.
I was totally about to repeat it, and then you're coming in. You're coming in hot, dude. All right.
Just want to make sure.
So yeah, it was 6 slaughter. All right, but let's see. Yeah, Demise was convicted of murder. Court is adjourned. We'll catch you back here tomorrow. Peace.